Trans-Canada Trail through the Niagara Peninsula is the essence of combining an amazing outdoor experience with a fascinating history and culture. As Harry and I come to the end of our spring in southern Ontario, we're going to take you on a trail that not many people have been on and probably don't know it exists. Subscribe and join us on our journey across Canada with new videos every week. Welcome to the wine region of Ontario, with fertile soils, a moderate climate, rolling hills, and orchards and vineyards everywhere. In Ontario, there are 18,000 acres of vineyards and 500 families growing wine grapes. Today we're hiking the 37-kilometer Laura Secord Trail, starting from just north of Niagara Falls, crossing over the Welland Canal, and ending at the remains of the Tuktoyaktuc House. We set off on the Laura Secord Trail, starting from the home of Laura and her husband James Secord. During the War of 1812, Laura overheard some American soldiers discussing their plans for a surprise attack on British troops stationed at Beaver Dams. Laura decided to warn the British troops about the impending attack and hiked 32 kilometers through difficult and dangerous terrain to pass on the message. Our trail roughly follows her route. Our own journey is not fraught with danger. We see a world that's simultaneously vibrant and serene. Mid-April marks the arrival of spring, and the trail is filled with the sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. But nature is not always predictable, and as we venture forth, we encounter a few April showers that remind us of the whims of the natural world. The raindrops trickle down, quenching the thirst of the flora and fauna that thrive in this land. As we trek along the roads and rugged trails, we come across a simple limestone tunnel known as the Screaming Tunnel. By day, it's a humble structure adorned with colorful graffiti and cloaked in a shroud of moss and algae. But by night, a sinister transformation is said to take hold, plunging the tunnel into the depths of one's darkest nightmares. Originally constructed to divert water away from the Grand Trunk Railroad tracks, this tunnel can't be avoided for those traversing the Laura Secord Trail as well as the Bruce Trail from end to end. And yet, there is more to this tunnel than meets the eye, for within its walls lies a haunting tale of tragedy and the unknown. Legend has it that a young girl met her untimely demise within the tunnel's depths, and her spirit lingers still. Some say that if a match is lit off the tunnel wall around midnight, you can hear her blood-curdling scream echo throughout the tunnel. For those with a taste for the supernatural, the Screaming Tunnel is a must-see destination. Just beyond the mysterious tunnel lies a tranquil and idyllic farmstead that will calm the senses and restore one's serenity. As we follow the trail, we are led to the grounds of Niagara College, where we are greeted by an Indigenous garden brimming with a vibrant array of native plants and sacred medicines. These plants serve not only as remedies, but also as teaching tools and conduits to the land. As we continue through the campus, we come across a fascinating collection of buildings. One of these buildings is the Teaching Brewery, where students can hone their skills in brewing craft beer in a microbrewery facility located on campus. There is also a teaching winery and teaching distillery. Here, amongst the rolling hills of the Niagara region, students can learn the intricate art of winemaking, from cultivating the grapes to aging and bottling the final product. A teaching greenhouse is where students of horticulture work their magic, and the public is welcome to come and explore. Before leaving the campus, we ventured inside the winery to partake in a tour and tasting of their exquisite wines, expertly crafted by the talented students. We also had the opportunity to indulge in some delectable snacks prepared by the Culinary Arts School. From the illustrious Niagara College campus, our path led us over the Welland Canal, an engineering marvel that permits colossal ships to travel between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. We made a slight diversion to ascend the viewing platform of Lock 3, but there were no ships passing through at that moment. Our trek took us through St. Catharines. The Centennial Gardens Park meandered along the vestiges of the former Welland Canal. We crossed the rippling waters of 12 Mile Creek on an ancient steel truss bridge. From there, we rambled along the shores of the creek until we arrived at the Tuktoyaktuc Falls generating station. As we near the end of Laura Secord's legendary journey, one may ponder the fate that awaited this intrepid woman. With her husband still recuperating from severe injuries suffered early on in the War of 1812, Laura took it upon herself to undertake a perilous trek alone across treacherous back roads through territory occupied by the American forces to reach the John Tuktoyaktuc house. Tuktoyaktuc, having been taken captive by the Americans and imprisoned in Philadelphia, had built a cabin and several mills on his property, including a grand Georgian-style house nearby. During his absence, The British had repurposed Tuktoyaktuc estate as their military headquarters, with Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon and his regiment of 50 soldiers stationed there. Tuktoyaktuc's mills were used to grind grain for the army and store supplies. It was to this very house that Laura Secord made her historic journey, braving countless dangers along the way to warn the British of the imminent American attack. Her message proved crucial in allowing the British troops to prepare for the impending assault, and they were able to triumph in the ensuing battle. Though the house was tragically destroyed by fire in 1950, its foundation remains, and a commemorative plaque stands in testament to its historical significance. From the Tuktoyaktuc House, the Trans-Canada Trail offers a final picturesque 2-kilometer loop through the grounds of Brock University before leading back to the shores of Lake Moody. It's here that our journey draws to a close, having traced the steps of one of Canada's most valiant heroes along the Laura Secord Trail. In the next episode, we'll be exploring a new trail in a new province that promises to be just as exhilarating. So stay tuned and join us on our next adventure.